Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the UK's radically new immigration system. Think of this as your personal strategy guide, especially if you're an ambitious professional or student from India trying to figure out this new landscape.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big picture changes, then walk through the main visa routes. After that, we'll look at the special pathways for top talent, the unique UK-India partnership, and, super important, how to avoid getting rejected. We'll wrap up with a look at the brand new rules for long-term settlement. Let's get into it.
First things first, we need to get our heads around the massive shift in how the UK is thinking about immigration now. And I mean massive. This isn't just a few tweaked rules, it's a whole new philosophy. And this quote right here, it just nails it. A fundamental paradigm shift. That's not just fancy language. It means the old system you might have been familiar with, it's gone. The UK is now very, very deliberately choosing who it wants to attract.
So what does that actually look like? Well, forget that old rigid ladder on the left. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 4. That's history. The new system on the right is way more selective. It's a points-based model that's all about your specific skills, your potential salary, and what the UK economy really needs at this very moment. And this is where it gets really interesting. It's created what you can think of as a dual-track system. For most people, the bar to get in is getting higher. But, and this is a big but, for individuals with really standout skills or game-changing ideas, they've basically created these VIP lanes that are actually more flexible than ever. Understanding which track you belong on is absolutely key.
Okay, so let's get practical. Let's look at the most common ways in, the main gates for skilled workers and students, and see exactly how much higher that bar has been set.
And wow, this table really lays it out. For the main skilled worker visa, that minimum salary has taken a huge leap. And for students hoping to stay on after their degree, that post-study work window is shrinking from 2 years down to just 18 months for most. This is the new reality if you're going through the standard routes.
But what if you don't have to go through the main gates? What if you're a leader in your field? Well, this is where those VIP lanes come into play. We're talking about special, unsponsored routes designed for exceptional people. And they offer a kind of freedom other visas just don't.
So how do you get into this VIP lane? Well, for the Global Talent Visa, there are basically 4 ways to get the all-important endorsement. The first 3 are fast tracks, right? If you've got a top academic job offer, a major fellowship, or you're named on a big research grant, you're in the express lane. The 4th path is a full peer review for everyone else who's a leader in their field.
And believe me, the benefits are a total game changer. The number one thing here is that it's unsponsored. That means you are not tied to a single boss. You can switch jobs, work for yourself, even start your own company, all without asking the government for permission. Plus, it's cheaper and gets you to permanent residence way faster. It's a whole different level of freedom. And it's not just for researchers. There's another one of these VIP lanes called the Innovator Founder Visa. This one's for entrepreneurs. The crucial thing here isn't how much money you have to invest, it's the quality of your business idea. It has to be something genuinely new and different, and you need to get an official body to sign off on it. Okay, let's pivot to something really specific, and this is a huge deal if you're coming from India. Because of the growing partnership between the UK and India, a totally unique opportunity has opened up.
3,000. That's it. That's the number of spots available every year on the India Young Professional Scheme. It's an incredibly small number, which makes this one of the most competitive, most sought-after chances for young Indian professionals to come live and work in the UK.
So, who even gets a shot at one of these golden tickets? Well, you have to be an Indian citizen, be in that 18 to 30 age bracket, have a degree, and show you have the savings. But here's the catch. Even if you tick all those boxes, it comes down to a random ballot. It's basically a lottery because the demand is just off the charts. And you have to understand, this isn't just some random visa program. It's a core piece of the bigger UK-India 2030 roadmap. It's all about building this living bridge of people, ideas, and business between the two countries. It's strategic. Okay, now for what might be the most important section of this entire explainer, how to not get your application thrown in the bin. Seriously, getting the paperwork exactly right is everything. So let me ask you this. What do you think is the number one reason, the top mistake that causes applications to be refused? The answer is probably simpler and stricter than you think. This, right here, the 28-day rule about money. It is absolutely ruthless, and it trips up so many people.
you have to prove you've had the required funds in your account for 28 days straight. And if that balance drops, even by 1 penny for 1 day, it's an automatic, mandatory refusal. There are no second chances. And beyond that money rule, here are the other big no-nos that caseworkers are literally trained to spot. Fund stuffing, where a big chunk of money suddenly appears in your account, is a massive red flag. Always, always tell the truth about any past visa refusals from any country. And if you're applying as a student, you need a rock-solid story for why you chose that specific course.
All right, let's look at the end game. You're in the UK, you're working. What does it take to stay for good? That whole process for getting permanent residence has been totally overhauled too.
And this table just says it all. The old standard 5 years and you're in rule, it's basically gone. Now, how much you earn and what you do directly sets the timeline. If you're an ultra-high earner, it could be just 3 years. But for a standard skilled worker, the baseline has now jumped to 10 years. It is purely a merit-based system now. And no matter which timeline you're on, the final hurdles you have to clear are higher. Everybody now needs to prove a higher level of English, and you must have a clean criminal record. They're not messing around. So, to wrap this all up, what are the key things to remember? First, the UK now has a dual-track system. Second, the main routes have higher barriers. Third, those VIP lanes for top talent offer incredible flexibility. Fourth, the India Young Professional Scheme is amazing, but it's a long shot. And finally, administrative perfection on your application isn't just a goal, it's non-negotiable.
And that really leaves us with one big question to think about. As countries all over the world get more competitive in the race for talent, is this what we're going to see more of? A future of high barriers for most, but wide open VIP lanes for a select few? Is this the future of global mobility?